You're listening to Retro Vibe FM. Tonight, we're leaving the city behind. No schedules, no deadlines, no place we absolutely have to be. Just warm ocean air, open highways, and a radio somewhere between stations. Tonight's journey takes us down the California coast in the summer of 1978. Windows down, salt in the air, sunlight on the dashboard. So find a comfortable place, slow down a little, and come along for the ride. This is the Golden Coast in July.
Retro Vibe FM.
Coffee's gone cold on the kitchen sill. Radio's humming through an open door. Somebody left the garden hole running onto a driveway that doesn't need it anymore. The map's still folded in the glove compartment. Same place it's been since a year ago, June. Some things you don't plan, you just notice. The way the light falls a certain way in a certain room.
And the road runs west, past the gas station with the broken sign, past the diner where they know your order, past the place where the highway starts to climb. The Golden Coast in July looks the same as it always does. Same blue water, same white sky, same old feeling it never was. In a hurry to go anywhere, just a road and the windows down. The Golden Coast, the roast in July
is the only sound. There's a girl that follows the same 3 cars every morning, like he's keeping score. There's a kid selling lemonade for $1 at a stand that wasn't there the week before. And the whole town moves like it's underwater, slow and easy, like nothing's due. Like the only thing that matters today is exactly what you're already planning to do.
And the road bends south, where the cliffs go soft and the air turns warm, where the radio starts to lose the station and you don't reach over to fix the sound. The Golden Coast in July doesn't ask you to be anywhere. Same blue water, same white sky, same kind of light in your head. Just a road, a window, a song half known. The Golden Coast in July is where the summer starts to slow.
Somewhere past the second bridge, the radio finds an old familiar tune. Nobody says a word about it. Everybody just turns it up a little soon, and the car just keeps on rolling toward whatever's at the end of this road, which today doesn't really matter as long as the windows stay low. The Golden Coast in July looks the same as it did last year. Same blue water, same white sky, same reason that we're here. No particular place,
No particular hour, just the road, the light, the sound. The Golden Coast, the
Merged onto Pacific around 8:15. Behind a truck hauling surfboards 3 high. Took the long way past the old fairgrounds just to see if the Ferris wheel still painted that color of sky. Somebody's beach towels flapping off a balcony. Somebody's dog is riding shotgun, ears out the window, grinning wide in the whole stretch of road from here to the point. Smells like coconut oil and low tide. Mile marker 22, where the road starts hugging the edge.
Mile marker 23,
where you always slow down a little just to take it in. Windows down on Pacific, radio caught between 2 stations. Down on Pacific, no particular destination. Curve of the road and the glare off the water. Windows down on Pacific, however long it takes us, we'll get there. Past the same red truck twice now. Once at the light, once parked outside the stand, where they sell shrimp out of a cooler. Nobody's ever in much of a hurry, I understand why you'd wanna be anywhere else today, when the ocean's doing that thing it does at noon. Going silver, then blue, then back to silver, like it can't quite decide on its own tune. Mile marker 30, where the cliffs pull back from the road a while. Marker 31, where you finally let go of wherever you will go. Windows down on Pacific, salt dry and soft on the dashboard. Down on Pacific, further than we planned, but who's keeping score? Yard of the road, and a song we have, remember. Windows down on Pacific, this is the kind of day in September. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Windows down on Pacific, same road, but it never gets old. Down on Pacific, some days just right themselves, I'm told. Just a curve, just a light, just the 2 lanes ahead. Windows down on Pacific is everything that needed to be said today. Windows down on Pacific, ooh, ooh, down on Pacific. There's a road that splits off from the highway, just past the sign for the county line. Nobody really knows where it goes, which is honestly half of why it's mine. I followed it out to a field of nothing. I followed it down to a dead-end pier. Neither time did I mind much, neither time did I think to ask why I was here. 2 lanes, no signs, no reason, no rhyme. Just a road that goes wherever it goes in its own time. 2 lanes to nowhere, suits me fine today. 2 lanes to nowhere, however the light falls, however the road may curve or climb or simply run flat into a field. me after all. Saw the kind of sky you only get when there's nothing around to get in its way. And I thought, this is the whole reason I took this road in the first place today. 2 lanes, white sky, no cloud, no line, just somewhere to be that isn't anywhere in particular. This time, 2 lanes to nowhere, and I'm not in any rush. 2 lanes to nowhere, just the engine and the brush along the shoulder and the heat coming up soft off the road. 2 lanes to nowhere, as close as I get. Late to home some days. Some days
2 lanes to nowhere,
turn into somewhere eventually.
turned into a town
With one light and a bench under a tree.
where I sat a while.
Didn't think to check the time. 2 lanes to nowhere is more often than not exactly where I needed to be. The newspaper still rolled up on the porch. Probably will be till early afternoon. Somebody's making lemonade from actual lemons, humming half a verse of some half-remembered tune. The cat's asleep in the one patch of sun that moves slowly across the kitchen floor. And nobody's in any rush to chase it or to do much of anything more. It's 10:30 and the day hasn't started, not really. Yeah, it's 10:30 and that's exactly how we planned it clearly. Lemonade and late mornings, this is the whole agenda. Tea, lemonade and late mornings, and whatever else gets in the way of doing absolutely nothing in the nicest way there. Yeah. Lemonade and late mornings is as good as a Sunday gets around here. Somebody's reading the same page twice. Somebody's drawing shapes in the condensations. Somebody else just fell back asleep, sitting up right mid-conversation, and the radio's playing something soft and slow from a station that fades in and out. And nobody reaches over to fix it, because it doesn't really matter, no doubt. It's almost noon, and we still haven't gotten dressed. Barely. It's almost noon, and somehow that feels like a victory. Lemonade and late mornings, and the sound of ice against glass. Lemonade and late mornings, watching the slow hours pass like they've got somewhere better to be, which today they really don't need. Mornings is the only plan, and we won't change it. Somebody finally gets up to make a second picture maybe, and comes back to find everyone's still right where they were. lemonade and late, stretched up somehow into lemonade and late. Morning turned into an afternoon too. Lemonade and late. Nobody minded, nobody checked the clock. Lemonade and late morning. Oh, there's a feeling, not a schedule. We keep on purpose. The boats are knocking softly against the dock, like they're keeping some kind of time. Somebody's untangling a length of rope, not because it needs it, just to pass the time. The light's doing that thing where everything looks like it's made of something warmer than it is. Even the chain link fence by the boat ramp looks like it belongs in a postcard like this.
6 o'clock,
And the gulls have gone quiet, mostly
6 o'clock,
and the whole marina slowing slowly.
Marina at 6,
Is when the whole day exhales.
Marina at 6,
It's just the creak of the rails and the water going golden rose, then something without a name.
Marina at 6,
Looks the same as it did yesterday, and that's just fine. Somebody's coiling a line for tomorrow. Somebody's just sitting, not doing much at all. Somebody's dog is asleep on a deck chair, like he owns the whole marina, paws and all. And nobody's in any hurry to head home, because this right here kind of is the thing you'd be hurrying home to if home was somewhere else. Which, tonight, it isn't.
6:15,
And the lights gone soft as anything,
6:15,
and nobody said a single thing.
Marina at 6,
Is the hour that has nothing of you.
Marina at 6,
It's just the light coming through the masts and the lines and the slow rocking of everything that flows.
Marina at 6,
Is the kind of evening that doesn't need a single word to be perfect.
Marina at 6, oh what up, what up, oh what up, what up, oh what up, what up, oh what up. Marina at 6, oh what up, what up, oh what up, what up, oh what up, what up, oh what up. Marina at 6.
Turned into 7, then 8. Marina at 6. It's hard to leave, hard to schedule, hard to recreate. Anywhere else, on any other evening, Marina at 6 is just this. The water, the light, the leaving of everything else for now.
Marina at 6.
After that, the wind picked up just past the breakwater, and that was that. The sail and we're white gold. The water turned a color I don't have a name for. Somebody said something I didn't quite hear, and it didn't matter, not one bit anymore. Out past the buoy, out where the noise of everything on shore starts to fall away like it never was.
Sailcloth and sunlight.
Is all there is out here,
Sailcloth and sunlight.
and the kind of quiet you can hear underneath the wind, underneath the water, against the hull. Sailcloth and sunlight is as close as I get to full most days. Yeah. Hey. And now we're out. Nobody said much of anything. We're just watching the shoreline turn to a thin gray line. Somebody's trailing a hand in the water. Somebody else has just closed their eyes, content to recline. And the boat just keeps on going when, yeah, wherever the wind decides it should. And for once, that feels like exactly the kind of decision that's good. Out where the sky meets the water and you can't tell which is which. Out where the only thing that matters is the wind, and which way it shifts, and which way it shifts.
Sailcloth and sunlight.
Ain't not a single other thing.
Sailcloth and sunlight.
It's the closest thing to flying without ever leaving the surface of the world. Sailcloth and sunlight is where the noise finally lets go of you. Yeah. Woo. Sailcloth and sunlight. Turn an afternoon into something else. Sailcloth and sunlight. Gave me back something I didn't know I misplaced somewhere. Just the wind, just the light, just the water, going on forever. Is the kind of afternoon you fold up carefully and keep. There's one stoplight, and it's mostly for sure. Everybody just waves and goes on through. There's a hardware store that's been closing for good for about as long as anyone's known. It's true. The barber's been on lunch since 7 before, so the sign in the window still says, and nobody's really in a hurry to find out if that's accurate these days. It's a town called Slow Down, though that's not its actual name. It's a town called Slow Down, on every map more or less the same. A town called Slow Down is exactly what it sounds like. A town called Slow Down, where the days don't rush and the nights just sort of arrive unannounced, like an old friend dropping by. A town called Slow Down is where the clocks just learn eventually to lie. a little. The diner's got one waitress, and she knows what you're having before you sit down. The gas station's got a dog that greets every car that rolls into town. And somewhere around 4 in the afternoon, the whole place just sort of settles, like it's exhaled something it's been holding for longer than anybody remembers. It's a town called slow population, not in a rush. It's a town called slow down, where being early is considered kinda too much. Slow down has a way of getting to you. A town called slow down has a way of making the things you do feel like they matter less, and somehow also more. A town called slow down is the kind of place you didn't know you were looking for till you found it. Ooh. Somebody asked how long we're staying, and nobody had an answer ready. We just looked at each other and sort of shrugged easy, because the real answer was something like, as long as it takes. And nobody needed to say it out loud. Town called slow down, let us go eventually our own way. A town called slow down is the kind of place that doesn't try to make you stay. A town called slow down is where I go back to. A town called slow down if I needed to remember how to rest. One, two, three, Found a stack of postcards in the glove compartment, half written, stamped, never quite sent. Pictures of piers and lighthouse and motels from summers I genuinely thought I'd forgotten, but apparently I haven't. One just says, wish you could see this light right now. Cut off mid-sentence, like something pulled my attention away. Maybe it did, maybe that's just how most of these things tend to go. Anyway, postcards I never sent to people I meant to keep in touch with more. Postcards I never sent, sitting in a drawer behind some things I was saving for. Postcards I never sent, say more than the ones I did. Postcards I never sent, hold on to something I almost hid, even from myself, for longer than I realized. Postcards I never sent are full of all the light I didn't know how to put into words that words. At the time, there's one with the sunset on the front that I must have bought at least 3 different summers. Never the same handwriting twice, never quite finished, never quite done with whoever I thought I was back when I started it. And maybe that's the whole reason it's still here. Half a thought, caught mid-sentence, in a color of light I still recognize every year. Ooh. Postcards I never sent, don't really need an address anymore. Postcards I never sent, just needed somewhere warm to wait. Postcards I never sent, turned out to be for me in the end. Postcards I never sent, from one version of myself to whoever I'd eventually become. Postcards I never sent are how I keep finding my way back to exactly where I started. I almost threw the whole stack out, a few summers back. I almost did. Then I read the one about the light again and put it back right where it had been hid. Because some things you don't say, you just need to know you wrote them. Postcards I never sent are still in that glove compartment. Postcards I never sent, waiting for a summer that's slow enough exactly to finally finish one. And maybe this time they'll let postcards I never sent are proof that some things take the time. They take. Found a piece of driftwood shaped like a question mark, half buried where the tide had been. Somebody's kid was collecting sea glass in a bucket, sorting it by some system only they could explain. And now past the rocks, the water was doing that thing where it looks like it's full of small lights, scattering and gathering and scattering again, like it couldn't decide how to hold on to the brightness, right? Driftwood in one hand, nothing much in the other. Driftwood in one hand, and nowhere particular to put it or to be. Driftwood and diamonds scattered along the same stretch of sand. Driftwood and diamonds, worth about the same, the way I understand the afternoon, which is to say everything here is worth keeping. Driftwood and diamonds is just what the light does when it has nothing better to shine on. Walk maybe 2 miles without noticing, stop maybe a dozen times to look at nothing much. A shell, a shadow, the way the foam drew a line and erased it at the same time like that. And somewhere around the old lifeguard tower, I realized I'd stopped checking how far I'd gone, which felt like exactly the kind of thing you're supposed to notice you've stopped doing eventually on a day like this one. Sea glass in one pocket, sand in every scene. Oh. Sea glass in one pocket, and not a single thing on my mind worth mentioning. Out here, they're roughly the same thing. Out here, they're roughly the same thing. Driftwood and diamonds, just like finding something to let on for a while before it moves along. Is a whole afternoon summed up in 2 words I picked up without trying. Driftwood and diamonds went home with me, both of them somehow. Driftwood and diamonds sitting on a windowsill now, catching the same light that found them on the sand that day. Driftwood and diamonds. Oh, how an ordinary afternoon quietly decides to stay. Same spot on the railing, same old splendor that catches my sleeve every single time. Same three fishermen who never seem to leave and never seem to mind. The lights doing that long, slow fade from white to gold to something close to rose. Somebody's walking a dog along the shore in no particular hurry to where either of them go. The boards are warm under my hand, still from the afternoon. The boards are warm and the whole pier settling into evening soon.
The pier at sundown
It's where the day quiet itself over.
The pier at sundown
Is the hour that lasts a little longer than it has any right to if you're paying attention.
Pier at sundown
Is the kind of evening that doesn't need you to do a single thing but watch. The fishermen haven't caught much of anything, and none of them seem the slightest bit concerned. Somebody's kid is asking why the sun goes down the way it does, and get an answer that's mostly made up in turn. And the whole sky's doing that thing where it doesn't pick just one color. It picks them all and lays them out one on top of the other, like it's in no rush at all.
The light goes soft
Then softer than something with no name. The light goes soft and nobody reaches for a camera for once to keep it the same. The pier at sundown is where I come to do nothing on purpose. The pier at sundown is the one appointment I never miss on purpose. Even when I don't plan to, I just end up here somehow. The pier at sundown has been waiting for me to slow down enough to notice it was always here. The pier at sundown turn the whole sky one more shade before it let go. The pier at sundown is the last good light of the day, and ooh, tomorrow it'll do the exact same thing differently. The pier at sundown is the one thing around here that never needs to explain itself to anyone. It's the kind of afternoon where the pavement shimmers and nobody walks faster than they have to. Somebody's got the porch fan running, somebody else has got the feet up, reading something they've read before on purpose. The ice is doing that thing in the glass where it cracks once, settles, then goes quiet. And outside everything's gone a little hazy, like the whole block agreed to take it easy. It's gin and tonic weather, whether you drink one or not.
you call a day like this around here?
The mailman's taking the shady side of the street today, and nobody blames him one bit. The kids gave up on the sprinkler an hour ago, and now they're just lying in the wet grass, perfectly content with it. And somewhere a radio's playing something with a horn section that sounds like it's smiling, and the whole afternoon just leans back like it's got nowhere to be till evening. It's gin and tonic weather. Even the shadows seem to agree. It's gin and tonic weather, the kind that makes doing nothing feel like a small accomplishment. Gin and tonic weather is best enjoyed. Sleep, gin and tonic weather is the sound of a screen door mostly opening and easing shut on its own good time. Gin and tonic weather, oh yeah, it's just a long bright afternoon. Yeah, yeah, a really good name. Gin and tonic weather turned into evening without anybody noticing. Gin and tonic weather is the kind of day worth not really tracking. Just the ice and the heat and the slow turn of the fan. Gin and tonic weather is as good a name as any for a day like There's a photo on the shelf that's gone mostly orange, the way they all do. Eventually, can't really make out anybody's face anymore. Just shapes and a stretch of beach and a sky that used to be a different color, probably originally, though I couldn't tell you now which one. And somehow that doesn't bother me, the way I think it might have a few summers on. Sun-Bleached Memories, sitting in frames on a windowsill. Sun-Bleached Memories, losing their color slowly. Sun-Bleached Memories, but not their feeling still. Sun-Bleached Memories are easier to carry somehow. Sun-Bleached Memories don't ask as much of you now as they used to. They just sit there soft in warm sun. Bleached memories are the kind that keep you, rather than the kind that keep you up. Found a shirt in a box in the garage that I apparently wore every single day. One whole August, couldn't tell you why or where exactly. Just have this feeling, warm, a little dusty. That ever wore it then was doing fine, was having a good summer. And honestly, that's enough to know all these years later about a stranger who happens to share my name. Sun-Bleached Memories don't come with all their details intact. Sun-Bleached Memories just come with the feeling mostly, and that's about all you need. All the gentlest things I own, sun-bleached memories take up so little room, and yet somehow they're the heaviest thing in any box I've ever packed. Sun-bleached memories are how the past finally agrees. to travel light.
Sun-Bleached memories
We'll probably fade a little more by an extra light.
Sun-Bleached memories
Somehow I'm alright with that, with losing the sharp edges.
Sun-Bleached memories
I'll prove that some things get softer, not smaller, the longer you hold them. Somewhere between two stations, there's a song that only plays for about a mile. Comes in clear for a verse and a chorus, then dissolves into static for a while. And you spend the next 4 miles half listening for it to come back around, humming the parts you remember, filling in the rest with whatever sound feels close enough.
Coastal static
Catching half a melody, then letting it go.
Coastal static
It's just how the good songs find you out here slow. Coastal static on the AM dial is its own kind of music. Really coastal static, mile after mile, is the sound of a memory nearly finished and fading, then almost coming back again. Somewhere past the bridge, coastal static is how I remember that whole summer in pieces, moments, and that's alright. Caught the end of a song I knew once, couldn't tell you the name, could hum you the hook. Lost it again, past the reservoir, found a different one I'd forgotten I ever even took the time to learn the words to, and sing it anyway, filling in the gaps with sounds that probably weren't the actual lyrics, but felt somehow exactly right, perhaps more right than the real ones. Ooh.
Coastal static
Turning every drive into a kind of guessing game,
Coastal static
where half remembering is most of the fun, and also somehow the whole point. Coastal static on the AM dial comes back clearer past the Marina. Coastal static for a little while, sounds like the truest thing I've ever heard. Half finished on a drive with absolutely nowhere to be. Coastal static is how a forgotten song finds its way back to you, right when you need it. Coastal static on the AM dial followed me almost all the way home. Coastal static, mile after mile, is the closest thing to a familiar voice I had the whole drive. And honestly, that was plenty. Coastal static is how the radio company without ever quite finishing its sentence.
Stretch a window I can see from this exact spot on the porch. Boats on the horizon, moving so slow you can't be sure they're moving at all. Boats on the horizon, going wherever boats on horizon go. Just something nice to follow instead of whatever I was supposed to be thinking about before I got distracted again. Counted 7 of the yesterday, lost track around the 4th one, started over. Doesn't really matter how many there are, what matters is they're out there slowly moving over the line where the water meets the sky. Like they've got all the time they could ever need, and maybe that's the whole appeal, watching something take exactly the time it takes indeed. Boats on the horizon never seem to be in any kind of hurry. On the horizon make the whole idea of a Russian seem like something from somewhere else entirely. Boats on the horizon are still out there, probably right now. The boats on the horizon, going wherever, however, slow as they please. Boats on the horizon, and I like knowing that even when I'm not watching. Boats on the horizon are somewhere out there, just continuing to take their time. Still be out there come morning. Boats on the horizon, moving the same unhurried way, without warning or explanation, or any need for either. Really, boats on the horizon are about the closest thing to proof I have that slow gets you somewhere too.
Looked at my watch around what I thought was 3. Looked again, still said the same thing, exactly. And I realized I hadn't actually checked it in what must have been at least an hour, honestly, which felt less like losing time than like finally putting it down somewhere safe. The way you'd set down something heavy you'd been carrying without realizing the whole afternoon. In fact, it's slow, which isn't a real time, but it should be. It's slow, and that's exactly where I plan to stay. Presently, slow is the best hour on the clock. Slow is when the whole day stops to talk to itself quietly and decides there's no need to hurry to the next thing. Slow is where the good part of any afternoon tends to live. Somebody asked me what time it was, and I told them honestly I genuinely couldn't say. And they just nodded like that was a perfectly reasonable thing to admit today. And went back to whatever they were doing, which as far as I could tell was also nothing much. And the two of us just sat there, not minding the lack of any kind of schedule. As such, it's slow, going on whenever it's slow. And the whole day feels lighter for not knowing exactly when. Slow doesn't show up on any clock. Slow is just a feeling you stumble onto, usually by accident, usually on a day like this one. Slow is the only appointment I plan to keep all summer. Turned into half past whenever slow is the best kind of evening, honestly. You don't plan for it, it just sort of arrives and stays. Slow is where I lost my watch and somehow found the whole afternoon. Standing at the rail with my eyes half closed, because the light's coming off the water at exactly that angle where you can't really look straight at it, but you don't really want to look away. The salt's already in my hair, in my collar. Probably will rest of the week, honestly. And I find I don't mind one single bit, the way I might have a few summers back. Apparently, salt in the air, light in my eyes, salt in the air. Not a single thing I'd trade for it, no lies. Salt in the air, light in my eyes, is about as good as any afternoon gets. Salt in the air, light in my eyes, is the kind of simple I tend to forget is even possible, until I'm standing right here in it. Salt in the air, light in my eyes, is a whole entire postcard I never needed to write down. Somebody's laughing about something somewhere behind me. Don't need to turn around to know it's a good one. The water's doing that thing again, where it looks like it's made of moving sun. And I just stand here, letting it do whatever it's gonna do to the afternoon, which, judging by how this is going, is gonna be something pretty close to perfect soon. Salt in the air, settling soft into everything I'm wearing. Salt in the air, and somehow that just adds to the whole feeling. Salt in the air, light in my eyes, doesn't ask anything else of me. Salt in the air, light in my eyes, it's just exactly what it claims to be. Nothing more, nothing less, just this, just now, just here. Salt in the air, light in my eyes, is the simplest good thing I've felt, and longer than I noticed. Followed me home somehow in the best way. Salt in the air, light in my eyes, still here, even now, even today, just under the surface of whatever comes next. Salt in the air, light in my eyes, is the kind of afternoon that doesn't really end so much as settling. There's a place on the map, just a small dot, with a name I can't pronounce quite right. Somebody mentioned it once, a few years back. Said the water there turns a strange kind of green at night. I've never been, don't know anyone who has. Couldn't tell you a single other thing about it. But every now and then, on a day like today, I find myself thinking quietly about it. Somewhere south of here, where the coast road keeps going past where I usually turn. Somewhere south of here is a thought I keep having, trying to outrun. Somewhere south of here, there's a town that turns the water green at night. Somewhere south of here is a thought that feels just about right for a day like this one. Open-ended, unplanned, unheard. Somewhere south of here is where I might end up if I just kept driving. Could be nothing, could be exactly nothing. Could be a gas station and a closed up motel. Could also be the kind of place you don't find by looking, you just sort of fall into as well. And either way I think I'd be alright with it. Either way feels like the kind of afternoon that doesn't really need an ending, just a direction and a little room. Somewhere south of here is close enough to be real, far enough to stay a question. Somewhere south of here is the best kind of plan, the kind you never quite finish making. Somewhere south of here is where the coast road bends out of sight. Somewhere south of here has been on my mind lately, at the edge of every quiet night. Not as a place to get to, just a direction worth having. Somewhere south of here is enough of a reason to keep the tank full. Might still just be a dot on a map I fall. Somewhere south of here might be nothing at all, and that's alright. That's sort of the whole point, really. Somewhere south of here is a good thing to have waiting, whether you ever go or not. Could've taken the highway, would've been faster. Took the old road along the bluffs instead. Told myself it was for the view, which honestly wasn't entirely a lie. I'll admit, the light's doing that long gold thing across the hills, the way it does right before it lets go completely. And I find I'm in absolutely no hurry to see it end this evening. The long way back adds maybe 20 minutes, give or take. The long way back is 20 minutes I'm glad today to make. The long way back lets the day finish properly. The long way back, oh, lets the light do its whole slow ceremony. Across the hills, the water, the road, before it finally calls it an evening. A long way back is how I make sure a good day gets the ending it deserves. Past the same fruit stand from this morning, closed up now, just a folded sign and an empty crate. Past the spot where the road climbs up, and you can see clear out to where the light meets the water. and just sat there a minute in no rush, content to wait for absolutely nothing in particular, just the next bit of road whenever I felt like taking it. And that somehow felt like the whole entire point of the evening, just still complete. The long way back means getting home a little later than I should. The long way back means a day like this one gets to last as long as it possibly could. The long way back isn't really about the road at all. The long way back is just not being ready yet for the curtain call on a day that gave me pretty much everything I didn't know I needed. The long way back is how you say thank you to an afternoon without saying anything at all. Got me home right as the porch light came on. The long way back was exactly the right amount of long. Not too much, not too little, just enough to hold on to. The long way back is how I keep a good day from ending on at once. Somebody put on a record an hour ago, and nobody's gotten up to flip it since. The candle on the table's burned down to about an inch, and nobody seems to mind in the slightest. The conversation's gone quite a few times, not in an uncomfortable way, just settling into the kind of quiet you only get with people you start needing to entertain or impress or anything. It's gone 11 and nobody's mentioned the time, not once all evening. It's gone 11 and the night just keeps right on going. Evenings that don't end don't actually go on forever. Evenings that don't end just feel that way somehow together, with the right people on the right kind of night. Evenings that don't end are the ones you don't notice slipping into morning. Somebody finally got up to flip the record, took their time about it like there was no rush. Came back with more lemonade nobody asked for, and the conversation picked right back up, soft right where it had quietly drifted off, like it had just been waiting patiently for someone to come back and keep it company, which in a way is sort of what the whole evening's been doing. It's gone midnight and somebody just laughed at something from an hour ago. It's gone midnight and nobody's making any move to go. Evenings that don't end that don't end are the ones worth not rushing toward whatever's supposed to come after them. Evenings that don't end are how you know you found exactly the right people to lose track of time with. Evenings that don't end eventually do, of course, the way they always have. Evenings that don't end just take their time about it, and that's about the nicest way that evenings ever ended for me. Evenings that don't end are the kind I keep hoping tomorrow night turns into two. Coffee's gone cold on the kitchen sill, same as it was that first morning back in June. Somebody left the garden hose running onto a driveway that's a little more sun-faded now, but still holding the same tune. The map's still folded in the glove compartment, hasn't moved an inch, hasn't needed to. Some things you don't plan, you just notice the way summer settles into you slowly, the way the good ones always do. And the road still runs west past the gas station, past the diner, same as always. And the road still runs west, just a little slower now, and no rush at all. The Golden Coast in July looks the same as it did in June. Same blue water, same white sky, same easy unhurried tune, playing soft from somewhere just behind everything we did. The Golden Coast in July turned into August without either of us noticing. The Gulf's still following the same 3 cars, a little slower now, like he's tired too, just content. The kids' lemonade stand packed up last week, signs still leaning where they left it, a little bent. And the whole town's still moving like it's underwater, same as it was, same as it'll be. Like the only thing that ever mattered was exactly this light, this slow, this quiet company. Somewhere past the second bridge, the radio still finds that same old tune. And nobody says a word about it, everybody just turns it up the same way soon. And the car just keeps on rolling toward just the road continuing. The Golden Coast in July will look the same again next year. Same blue water, same white skies, same reason we'll come back here. No particular plan, no particular hour, just the road, the light, the sound. The Golden Coast in July is where we always set eventually down.
Well, that's all for tonight. The road is a little darker now. The marina is quiet. The last song has faded into the ocean breeze. But somewhere out there, the highway keeps going and the radio keeps playing. Thank you for spending part of your evening with us. Until next time, keep the windows down, keep the music on, and keep chasing that golden horizon. Good night. From all of us at Retro Vibe FM.
Retro Vibe FM.